Hi, this is a YouTube video response to something that I've just seen on the internet, and the title was, "Is it okay to snoop on your children?" And Sonia was defending this and actually saying no, it's not okay. That in fact it does destroy trust, and it does send the message off that I don't trust you. You need to be watched. And I know that feeling all too well, because I know that in my teenage years and when I had a mobile phone, I did get into spots of other art, which was the other woman trying to talk to Sonia is break my trust once and then I'm all over you. So perhaps as a teenager I did break my parents' trust a little bit, and I think ever since then my mum in her head thinks that she has every right to snoop on me, and to have a look, she'd have a look on my phone, and at home, this was when I lived at home, I used to smoke, and I think I began to smoke kind of around 14 to 15, and I would hide them in lots of different spots. The one spot that I tended to put it in was the same spot she would go to take it away. And when you're younger, sometimes it is kind of about a game, but I was becoming addicted, and it just was not funny anymore. So over time, over a long period of time, I expected it. I expected to get snooped on. And so the sad thing is, I don't come to my mum or dad when I have a problem. I will try and deal with it on my own rather than go to mum or dad, because I know that one, that they disapprove, and two, I think even more because my mum would snoop because I did break her trust when I was younger. I think all kids do that, I think. or she had every right in her head to come into my bedroom, and do all sorts of things. So, in actual fact, what I'm doing is it's kind of a controlling thing, because I can't control her not to snoop, and I expect it. So I feel to sort of get that control back, that I'm not gonna tell her. Like if as Sonia said, her 16-year-old girl came to her and said there was someone on Facebook who had been messaging her who she didn't even know at all. So I think Sonia herself has proven that if you don't snoop on your kids, if you don't snoop on their mobile phones, if you don't snoop on the internet, that you actually can have a trust building relationship. I mean, I have lots of different dynamics to my mother and daughter relationship, and it hasn't helped as the years have gone on. I don't open lies to her. Or what I tend to do is I tend to tell her things on a need to know basis. It's kind of sad, isn't it? But that is how I feel, and it's to be able to get control back over all the times she has snooped, that she has checked a mobile phone, that she has gone in wardrobe, all sorts of different things, because she's never trusted me. She's sad, and she ought over time it has got better. It has, but I still feel a need not to tell her everything, which I don't know, is my own dynamic to my relationship with my mom. Or it was here's this as an example. It was a good number of years back, and this was when I lived at my first place, which was at a flat. I'd moved out, and Mom has this spare key, which is the emergency key. Now, at home, yes, I was always hiding and always helping out, but every once in a while, I'm a little messy, and so she'd come over, she would say she's hiding and she wants to get on top of me. And also, this is a different point to make as well. I was not living on my own. I had a boyfriend, and he wasn't always that happy, because Mum would come over, she would move things, and a couple of personal things have actually been found by her. She will openly admit your laundry was not put away, so I put it in your drawers, and this is what I saw in his drawer, or she shouldn't really have this here, or and she was giving lots of, in her head, helpful hints, helpful suggestions. Now, for me, the worst that is someone coming into our house, hiding it, going in drawers, opening things, and we have no privacy. And for a large portion of it, I get madder and madder and madder. And then if I were to talk to her, bring it up, she would say, well, if your house weren't so messy, I wouldn't have to hide it. So she feels the need to come over to my house and hide it. It's not always messy all the time, but sometimes it is. But that's beside the point as far as I'm concerned. There's helping, and there's a fine line where I find she goes over it, which is not help. It's an invasion of privacy. I can't keep nothing safe in a drawer that I don't particularly want her to see. And that was it. In the flat, when I lived in the flat, she'd come over, use the emergency key, put it in a lock and go, only me, coming in. And I'm thinking, this is my home. This is my home. I want to invite her in, but she's too busy coming in, and it feels like to me that she is forcing herself on me. Even here in this place, because I've moved into a house now, she has got better, but I have to tell her, which it seems absurd to me, that when she knocks this door or to press a doorbell, to wait for me to open this door, to let her in, to welcome her in to my home. And I think especially at first, she puts the key in the lock and lets herself in. So I feel violated because she is coming in when she's not invited, and she's calling at least trying to call the shots in my home. I think it was the first couple of months when I moved in here, she actually said, because a man was coming over the road to help to do something up the stairs, something to do with the BT, and we had to move all the boxes out the way, and we had to sort things and put things away. And she, I can come over, I can do this, I can help. But she's not actually saying those words. She's actually telling me, I'm coming over, I'm doing this. She doesn't ask would I like her to. She does it automatically, and I know she cares. Okay, she's a good person and she does care, and she does have lots of good intentions, but I find these are too much at times of a personal boundaries, because lots of personal boundaries with me are always continuously being crossed, and but she doesn't do that with my younger sister, and she and my sister has invited her and dad over for a meal, for a bit of a get together, and she will actually turn around and tell me that your sister cares more than you. She actually did when it was annoyed. She actually said, your sister cares more than you because we get the invite to come over. We get the invite to have lunch there or tea there, and she calls me. So in actual fact, my mum and my sister, which I have felt this growing up, have more of an adult relationship, and I have at times I've been a tad bit jealous, because I'm like, that is the sort of relationship I want to have with her, but at the same time I know I'm mom, and I don't want to get to the point where I'm completely her best mate, best friend. With me and mom, there is a sense of she's the mom, she's the parent, and there's me. So if that's mom would put her dad kind of up here, I herself, and so that she would with friends of hers and a nan, and even I find she has even brought my sister, who's supposed to be here, and brought her up too. So she, because it does feel at times that they are kind of on par with each other. So there's mom, dad, nan, any friends of hers, and Lindsay, and which I think sometimes it is an insult, is my sister is actually younger than me. So I think because I'm the eldest, mom should talk to me kind of up here, not down to me, because I have yes, I have lots of issues at times with her. But what I find is she will talk at me, but she won't talk to me. And I am the sort of person who likes to utter herself to like if somebody says that's it. I suffer with a lot of aggression, and that is true. I know I do, but no one in my family is actually helping me overcome it. If you see what I'm saying, I come, and this is my mom and dad and sister. I tend to come from a family where we don't talk about our feelings, and I suppose I don't need to have a great big long in depth chat about, you know, every single thing that's upsetting me or whatever. But this is what I'd like to happen. I'd like to go to Mum's house and go, I've had a really bad day. I've this has happened and that's happened, and I went home and had a carrot cake, and I think I've also a diet. I don't feel I can do that, because I feel if I come to her and be openly honest, this is my belief, if I'm openly honest, that she would somehow think badly of me. Well, you shouldn't have had that carrot cake, and let's talk about what's happened at work that's upset you to begin with. And actually, because I don't spend much time with her, because she's too busy calling. I mean, each morning I'll always get a phone call. If the house phone rings even now, I know it's her, which is nice, but sometimes it is a bit too much. But I think what I'm trying to say is she is overpowering, and because I come from the type of family where we don't discuss our feelings, I don't feel that I get listened to, and I don't feel I get understood. And I think it's because of that I keep things to myself, because I think not just mom, it's my whole family, they only want to hear it that they want to hear. Because I made a video and I posted it up kind of on the Call Me, the emotional vampire, and this is what I mean. It's when I feel and I can't come to you, I can't have a moan, have a rant or whatever, it pushes it. What it does, it moves us to disconnection. It does, because, and this is my problem, my dynamic in my family, I don't always feel that I can come and talk to mom, usually one, because of her reactions, because she's quite zealous. She's overzealous. Which, that does tend to put me off a tiny bit. And I think, and this is also what stems back to the past, which was with Rust and the snooping. So I wanted to trust me, but she doesn't always, because this is a fear of mine. I think if I tell her things, she's not gonna trust me and my judgment. I mean, like, I've watched the Dr. Phil show, and there was this mom sat in the middle, and her two daughters, and her one daughter has never let her mom crowd her life. She's never ever let it get that far, basically. And with the other daughter, she's always had quite a close relationship with her mom. So, and because she sort of looks to her mom for approval slightly, whatever. But the point this girl was trying to make is when she doesn't feel that she gets heard, it's people are very good at speaking over me. People are really good at speaking over me and telling me what they think or what they think I ought to do. At home, growing up, I never had options. I never had choices. That's it. You're coming, and that's that. It's not stay at home, or there was never a choice. Even as a teenager, it's ever, love, would you open the bathroom door? It's, you open this door right now. So I think it is because of that, and I think it is because of when they used to Snoop, and it does, as Sonia explained, it does send the message that mum and dad don't rush you. We have every right to do it, and this is it. This is me. This is their offspring, and I don't always want to invite them over. One, because mom, she tends to use the emergency key and walk in. There are lots of things that, and at the same time, my mum would think she's completely in the right to do it. This doorbell in here, I can hear it as loud as day, but people can't hear it outside the front door. So because she can't hear it, she thinks she has every right to open up all the doors, using that as a reason to come into my house. And I think to begin with, when I first moved in here, we had a great big argument where I did not want to give her a key to my house because I'd had enough, because that exact thing happened at the flat. And she opens things, she goes from room to room and looks in drawers and puts things away, hides things, but it's not her house, it's not her place, and I have looked on the internet for lots of different things, and one of the things that comes her mind is, one, you need to be more assertive. Two, you need to have anchors. And yes, mom. And I'm thinking, well, as a daughter, what's consequence? Or if she oversteps a mark once again and keeps coming in? Because actually, at times, I want her to come in. I want to invite her into my home to have a sitting down meal and just be happy and just relax. Sometimes I want to have a grown up discussion with her. I'm not saying that we actually can't full stop. I do feel the relationship now is getting better, but it is it does have its problems, and I know what relationship does not, but because I've made mistakes in the past, because I've made bad judgment, I think and this is what I think is my understanding of it, is she needs to show me the correct way to do everything, to and she listens to my sister. I think she listens to my sister more than she listens to me. And if my sister gives her advice, she actually listens. So I don't know. I mean, it is my family dynamic, but compared to my mom, dad, and my sister, I do have a more softer personality. I mean, I all believe in tough love, basically, and this is a different point as to when she comes over and she tells me I look fat. Really, it's the shock tactic, because